kami watalabiat.
The Permanent Secretary for Agriculture, Dr. Vinesh Kumar, the directors of Bula Mushroom, Achaya and Vinit Kumar, the manager of Waterways College and the Technical College, and my old friend Mahendra Reddy, other members of the school management board, the principal of Waterways College, Mr. Rajesh Chand, senior government officials, farmers, Director Research, Mrs. Surendra Prasad, Director Policy, Saran Bose, Regional Manager Agriculture, Ms. Kasani Taratu, District Officer Nadi, ladies and gentlemen, and our students. Bula Binaka to you all. Morning, children. After a long time, it's been in this ground. President, Manager, a pleasure to be here. Also, Mr. Rat, good to see you here. Peter, ladies and gentlemen, launching of new products, new technology is possible after years of hard work, research, and development. That is one of the core functions of any research institution, any research department, any university. Ministry of Agriculture has got a very vibrant research section with about 14 research centers, with the headquarters being at Cornevia, the Cornevia Research Center, and we've got a number of other research facilities. We've got one right here in Lengalenga, Svetoka, Rekireki, Nambasa, Taviuni, Sabasavu, etc. And over the years, Ministry of Agriculture's growth and development has been contributed via research and development. I also want to take this time to acknowledge the presence of a renowned horticulturist, Ms. Santa Kumar. Good, thank you for coming over, Mr. Kumar. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to take stock of where we are with regard to agriculture growth and development, what it means to the economy, to the country, to the development objectives, and how mushroom production is part of that agriculture growth and development equation. Agriculture sector for any developing countries, except for some outliers in the Middle East, who are dependent on oil, most of the countries developed at the back of the surplus that was created from the agriculture sector. That's simple. Initially, in those olden days, it was agriculture sector that was providing food. Then there's some surplus created in the agriculture sector, and this surplus was sold out to small merchants outside, and these merchants then expanded their business through the surplus that was collected from the agriculture sector. So they expanded their business. Then the agriculture farmers themselves took their surplus and bought properties, land, opened up schools, shops, hotels, etc. And that's how agriculture sector contributed to the growth and development of the entire economy. Then over time, what had happened, the other sectors grew at much faster rate than agriculture and overtook the overall share of the output, the GDP, relative to agriculture's share. So initially, 60, 70 years ago, agriculture would have been 80% of the overall output, right? Because there was tourism didn't exist, manufacturing didn't exist. So obviously, agriculture's share of the overall output would be pretty much 100%. But over time, when manufacturing started, there was no garment industry those days. Garment industry started about 20 years ago. There was hardly any hotels those days. There were few, in late 18th century. So how would tourism be a major share of Fiji's earnings and output? But now, you see, tourism is one of the largest industries. Manufacturing was existent. Now you see manufacturing is not very large because of economies of scale issue, but still there is manufacturing happening. Wheat is brought in and flour is manufactured. There are a lot of other products that are brought in and manufactured. So, but with increase in population, increase in middle income group, increase in high income group, demand for this product increased and manufacturing sector excelled, tourism sector excelled. Fiji's strategic advantage in the tourism sector led to Fiji's tourism industry being renowned in the world. So obviously, tourism growth was much higher than the growth of the agriculture. The growth function, the gradient, the slope of the growth function of agriculture was smaller than the growth function of the non-agriculture sector. But agriculture still remains a major force, a major component of Fiji's economy. In fact, when the pandemic happened for the last 2 years, 2020 and 2021, COVID didn't affect agriculture. This was the only sector COVID didn't affect. No effect. And the only sector which continued to export. And the only sector at that time which brought in substantial amount of foreign dollar into the country. There were some remittances coming in, but tourist dollar didn't come in because the borders were closed. The major foreign receipt is from tourism. That was kind of negligible. The remittances were very slow. Other exports were not possible. There was all kinds of issues. Freight rates went up, but agriculture kept on grinding. And because the production kept on, we had to move off, ship off that surplus. What are you going to do with the excess production? Blessing in disguise. 2020, for the first time, our agriculture exports exceeded $100 million. All along, non-sugar agriculture exports was below 100 million. 2020, first time, our non-sugar agriculture exports were above 100 million, 106 million to be exact. And sugar was 101 million. 2021, as Mr. Burrows pointed out, I think he pointed out, in 2021, non-sugar agriculture exports was 121 million and sugar export went down below 100 million. And the non-sugar agriculture exports was led by kava, around 42 million. Second was dalo, around 31 million. Third was turmeric, around 21 million. Fourth was ginger, around 12 million. Third was horticultural crops, and fourth and fifth was poultry products to the region, egg and chicken going to Samoa, Kiribati, Tokelau, etc. That's the only livestock sector that we are self-sufficient, 100%. And in fact, we are exporting surplus poultry. So we're very excited that agriculture is asserting its role in the economy. Number two, agriculture is now taking a leading role in bringing in foreign exchange, foreign currency. And all of you, particularly students, understand very well that we can't operate without having foreign dollars. Because to pay for imports, steel, medicines, no one wants Fiji dollar. No one wants Fiji dollar. You take your Fiji dollar to the bank, get foreign check, and then make the payment. So to make the foreign check, you need to have foreign currency holdings. So foreign currency holding is when you export or tourist comes or remittances, so foreign currency comes in. But to also save the foreign currency, we need to reduce our imports. But we can only reduce imports in those areas where we can. Our mushroom sector, Chaya mentioned, we are importing around 31 million tons of mushroom every year at a value of $299,000. 2021 figure, last year's figure. 31, 31 tons of mushroom volume at a value of $299,000. Let's keep that money here. If we can produce it here, if we have a strategic advantage. Garlic we can't produce this, let's import garlic. Let's not wreck our head in those areas where we don't have the technical expertise, don't have the strategic advantage, technology, resources, weather condition. Let's import. We don't have an import substitution policy. That's clear. But the areas where we've got a strategic advantage, we're not going to sit down idle and import $42 million worth of rice to the country every year. We have got a strategic advantage. This year we have produced 10 times more rice than we produced last year. But 16 harvesters operating in one level, still we are not able to finish harvesting. And rice, you need to harvest within 2 to 3 weeks, otherwise, it'll fall. That's the volume of rice production we've done this year. And we are pushing because we've got a strategic advantage, we've got the know-how, we've got the weather, we've got the land that is required, the quality of land, soil. And therefore, we think that we can save that $42 million that annually we are spending. We are importing $11 million worth of beef meat into the country. Again, we think that we can save that money and use it in areas where in provision of public infrastructure, where we need roads to be made, where we need water to be extended, where electricity should be extended, where health services should be improved in the interior maritime division. And therefore we gave out 260 fencing material to potential commercial beef cattle farmers this year. That's the level of importation we would want to save. $48 million worth of sheep meat we are importing every year. We gave out 400 fencing materials to 400 farmers this year, goat and sheep farmers, so that we can save that $48 million. So wherever there's a strategic advantage in areas in the agriculture sector, we need to get in there and take over. And we think that with drivers like Chaya and Vinit, who are focused, have these rare technical skills in this area, we would want to ensure that not only the supermarket, but all the hotels buy from within. And the quality of mushroom that they're producing, with a little bit of leverage from us, I think can do wonders in terms of taking over the entire market. We want to take over the entire mushroom market, but they need to be sustainable. We can't promote a venture which is dependent on various other institutions. Someone providing land, someone providing cooler facility, someone providing substrate. You are tying yourself up. You cannot grow at the rate. I was talking to rice farmers in Wainukoro. I said, Minister, we need tractor on time to plow our land. The other fellow stood up and said, Minister, we need rice seeds so that we can grow. The other fellow stood up and said, Minister, we need fertilizer. The other fellow stood up, Minister, we need right harvester to come and harvest our rice. The other fellow stood up and said, Minister, we need dryer to dry the rice. Another stood up and said, Minister, we need Fiji Rice Limited to buy all rice. Then another fellow stood up and said, Minister, very soon they'll ask for a rice cooker. So look, you can't be a commercial farmer when you tie yourself up to all these people who will be supplying you things. So you are dependent. When the tractor comes, then you will plow your land. When the seed comes, then you will broadcast. When someone comes and gives you fertilizer, then you fertilize. Someone comes harvest, then you will harvest. Look, that's not what commercial farming is. The definition of commercial farming is one, you target the market. Number two, you want to create surplus. Number three, you have total control of the production process. You're in total control of the production process. You can't be dependent that whenever the Junka or technology place will give you substrate, then only you'll grow mushroom. The market will be gone. They can't wait for you. They have to serve mushroom. So ladies and gentlemen, we need sustainable commercial agriculture models that will ensure that we can grow this and also attract other producers in the sector. The other producers in the sector will see that this is full of dependent on a lot of other players. They won't want to come. They won't want to come. We need to have a balance, equilibrium in the market so that prices are also affordable. If you have just one producer, what will happen? Who will dictate the price? We need enough producers, enough players in the market. So there's a natural market equilibrium with respect to the volume of supply and with respect to the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Chaya and Vinit for taking over this. The ministry has trained close to 2,000 stakeholders on mushroom production. At the moment, we have got around 535 who are actively producing mushroom, but most of them are dependent on us. And then I was saying that supply the mushroom substrate free to them. That's not the model we want. We are supplying the mushroom at the early substrate, the early stage, but then you need to take off. You can't. So you need to get into autopilot, total autopilot. So currently we've got about 5 commercial mushroom ventures, and I don't call them farmers. I call them entrepreneurs. They're business persons, and they need to expand and take over the entire market and cut off this $299,000 that we are sending outside Fiji. So I want to congratulate Bula Mushroom for taking this step. And I also want to thank the Waterways Technical College. Now, running a school is not that big of a job, secondary and primary school. The schools are pretty much in autopilot state. The ministry look after the head teachers and principals. But to come up with a new idea of technical college with new areas requires leadership and vision. And Parmen has always had this vision about doing new things, getting into the market, testing it out. I want to thank Parmen for this. He's an amazing leader. He's a proven track record of managing schools. In fact, when I was in education some time back, I wanted to hire him to assist ministry to run trainings for managers throughout Fiji, because there are a lot of schools where schools were in trouble because management were not sinking in with the common vision of what the school should be. Pramen, thank you for having this joint venture with Bula Mushroom and also your own leadership on this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank the entire Waterways Technical College management, the trustees, and the college as well for supporting this venture. You are blessed, Pramen, with this temple here, and thank you. Thank you all, and I hope the fence doesn't keep on moving that side. Pulang Naka, and congratulations on the launching of this Bula Mushroom. Thank you. Naka.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.